One of the things in the election campaign that we've seen, especially here in Tamil Nadu, there was one flashpoint on the north-south divide. What did you make of that?
See, it is not about North India and South India. North Tamil Nadu and South Tamil Nadu, there are lots of issues and opinions, okay? West Tamil Nadu and East Tamil Nadu, lots of opinions. So, people have pride about their origins, it's fine, but it need not be in comparison with somebody. You don't have to degrade somebody for you to feel better. It's a
As far as spiritual politics is concerned, Sadhguru, there is, not just in Tamil Nadu but elsewhere as well, we're seeing a lot of symbolism, the temple hopping that happens. You've just mentioned that in
a
Tamil
big
Nadu
competition.
as well.
Everybody is rushing into temple after temple.
Yeah, I really want to know what you think of that.
See, whether they go to a temple or a mosque or to a iftar party or to a church or to Christmas parties, all these things have been there, all right? But generally, it is the majority community who was left behind. Now they're catching up. Going to temple also has become an in thing. Otherwise, going to Christmas parties and going to iftar parties were in thing because in Christmas party there was wine, in iftar party there was biryani, in temple only water. So it was not a cool thing. But now that water has become sacred, in the last probably 5-6 years this evolution has happened, now everybody wants to be seen in a temple. They are doing every trick possible to get maximum number of votes.
Are you saying that the opposition needs to be more constructive when you say that we need to accept that so-and-so has been elected and is in power and that what the opposition does is generally destructive?
This is the fundamental constitution. When they get elected, they get the right to make the laws. This is the nature of democratic process, this is our constitution. Why should I state that? This is the reality of our existence. First of all, you make up your mind whether you want democracy or not. So those who cannot win election, you try to make laws on the street. So where will that lead? Unfortunately, we think this is politics. This is not politics, this is anarchy.
I'm sure everyone in this room has also seen it. It's your campaign to save the temples of Tamil Nadu. Can you tell us about how this campaign actually started and what do you hope to achieve by it?
Nowhere else in the world has granite stone been carved as it's been carved in Tamil Nadu. I've traveled everywhere in the world. Today with all the trucks, cranes, machines, every kind of machine we have, when men did this just out of sheer hands, sheer human effort, I bow down to those men 1,000, 2,000 years ago. What kind of people are these? And they didn't do this for livelihood. Tremendous works of art and architecture, just being vandalized, destroyed, cannibalized. There are 5-element temples for different elements, for water, earth, air, space and fire, there are different 5 temples. This is supposed to serve the whole region. These 5 temples should, operate in tandem, doing various processes to create a certain sense of well-being in the human beings who live in that region. So I happened to be in one of them a few years ago, I asked them, are you doing something together? They said, no, we are all separate management. Then I said, your situation is like this. Your father was a rich man, he had a Rolls Royce and he died. 5 sons, each one of you took one wheel and you're rolling it and you think you have a Rolls Royce. What is the problem with you? Because the beauty of these temples is, these are sadhana temples, that means you don't go there and worship and pray and ask for this and that. This is a place where you're supposed to go and work. The water in your body, the earth in your body, the fire and air and space in your body, you're supposed to work with it. So they built powerhouses to do this kind of work. But today, you're running it like some kind of a business. Because you say temple, people say revenue, people say property. It's very symbolic because when East India Company took over the temples, they put all the temples under the revenue department, very appropriate. So it has to change. Above all, it's your fundamental right. that why is it a community is denied to have their own places of worship?
But is there a specific model that needs to be implemented that can be replicated for all of these temples that you are offering?
Well, if you want models, the models that I say may be shocking for a lot of people, but I am looked for because I am committed to success. If you do something, it must be successful. I am saying, why don't you look at BCCI as a model? Why don't you look at CII as a model? These are all models, but irrespective of caste and creed, a temple should be open to everybody, not only open as a devotee, even to manage and also do the spiritual part of it, also it must be open to everybody if they have devotion in their heart. This is all that matters, this is the future. You can't be still talking the old problem, oh, Brahmins will take over, Brahmins will dominate. Why will they dominate? If you set up a right kind of procedure, and if they also happen to be there, what's your problem?
Guys, do like, share and subscribe for more such videos.